A great West Ham win, in no small part down to a Mikel Antonio wonder strike. Was that a bit special to be part of?
Oh, 100%. Obviously, last season wasn't one of the best seasons and we didn't start well, but obviously this season we wanted to put that behind us and start well. So obviously 2 games, 4 points, a good draw away at Bournemouth and a win, an unbelievable win here against Chelsea. So we definitely put last season behind us in Premier League season anyway, and now we're moving forward and hopefully be positive.
So this was obviously your first home game since that incredible night in Prague. Was there a sense like the Conference League trophy was there as you walked out, just try and ride that wave a little bit?
No, it wasn't even about riding the wave, it's just putting the Premier League season that we had behind us. Obviously, we did win the European Cup, but which was a massive achievement for us, but we were very disappointed with our performance in the Premier League, so we wanted to fix that and put that right, and right now, with our performance in the last 2 games, looks like we have.
So you really shuffled in here looking stiff and sore. How big a shift did you have to put in up top, particularly first half when they penned you in at times?
Oh man. It was a very difficult game. Obviously, Chelsea's an unbelievable team. They play some quality football and they had a lot of possession. So it was definitely a lot of running off the ball and not much on it.
Yeah, we noticed, don't worry.
So it was definitely a difficult game, and obviously being a lone striker up there, there's a lot of stuff, you've got a lot of grafting on your own. So, but we're buzzing, 3 points, we go again.
First half, after you went 1-0 up, it almost looked like a matter of time before they would score. But second half, although they had more of the ball, you carried some real menace on the counter. So what changed between the first and second half?
It was more how we to deal with how they're pressing, how they're playing with the ball, and putting in situations where we can press them and stuff like that.
So the manager got to grips with that?
Yeah, definitely. They were kind of getting out quite easy and they were finding pockets between us. So it was kind of shutting the pockets down and making, obviously, once they've done the pass that we can counter on, that's what we were just countering on them, and it worked out perfectly for us.
So your goal I mentioned at the start, bit of a wonder strike. You get it from Ward-Prowse. There's not a huge amount on. Just tell us, when did you think to strike it? What's going through your mind?
So the ball's coming, it's taking me on my chest. The defender's tried to come across me, I've held him off.
As always.
But then he's dropped nicely in front of me, and I was thinking to take him on, but I saw the keeper step. So I was like, let me go far corner. It's gone through his legs and in bottom corner.
And when you're talking about putting the Premier League season behind the team, element of that for you as well? Because you had a good goals return, a lot of your goals were in Europe. I wonder if you've got like a big target to do or exceed last season's numbers in the league.
It's crazy because last season I wanted 15 goals in the Premier League. And no, 15 goals altogether. But normally I go for Premier League goals and then a couple in the Cups. But I got 14 goals last year, and it was 5 in the Premier League and 9 in the Cups. But this year, obviously for me, it's getting goals in the Premier League, scoring in the Premier League, and obviously 5 goals for me wasn't enough in the Premier League. So I've got 1 in 2 games. So hopefully my tally will be better this year.
Well played. Good work.
Thanks very much.
A really good clinical finish from Mikel Antonio for his goal for West Ham. And he must have been listening to you, Darren, because you said at half-time he's their one outlet to get the pressure off West Ham, because it was incessant in the first half, and he came up trumps.
He did, and with his pace and his power, that was always going to give West Ham an outlet. Like, one thing that Chelsea are not blessed with at the back is serious pace. Thiago Silva can read the game, leave our ball well, but he has really got a lot of pace. And I thought if he could get the ball, hold it up, then he could bring Paquetá, he could bring Bowen, these guys up and join him, and then West Ham could start to play in Chelsea's half. But the fact that he scored that goal, really good pass from Ward-Prowse, but using his pace, his strength, got a goal for himself, and fair play to him.
He's a centre-back's nightmare, Marcel.
Yes, I would say that Isazi, for me, didn't do well. He has to intervene now, out of the 80-yard box. As soon as you slow down, that second or half a second where you don't intervene, allow the striker to have the thought of shooting. You see, at that moment, you have to get near and close to the striker. And he didn't. Lack of experience, he will learn. I hope Pochettino will show them the images. At that moment, he has to show all his strength before the striker think about, shooting to the goal. So, welcome, Antonio. He plays the ball correctly, but small details makes the difference. Carragher made a mistake, and Disasi also, for me, made a slight mistake also.
See, you talk about his strength, but it's his power of shot as well that managed to see that at the back of the net.
Well, it's a really clever finish, because it's that particular finish we always see where the striker will wait for the defender to open his legs, hit it between the defender's legs, and the goalkeeper can't see it. But as you said there, it was a really, really good finish right into the corner. But for Antonio, when you've got someone like Ward-Prowse who from set plays and his range of passing is behind you, all you know, if you make the run and it's good quality movement, you know the ball's coming. I mean, this is it. On his weaker foot, he knows where Antonio is. And that will get better and better, their relationship, by playing with each other week in, week out and working with each other on the training pitch. Because Ward-Prowse just looks at him, puts it in there, and as I said, Antonio, through the defender's leg, good finish.
And mentally, he's been very brave and very strong because throughout the game, he's been alone at front, you know, making the movement, not having the ball in first intention, have to run. He said it. He had to run a lot to defend and to put pressure on the Chelsea, either midfielder or defenders. And finally, he got the opportunity to make the difference.
Just goes to show for Axel Disasi, obviously a signing for Chelsea, goal scorer last week against Liverpool. These are fine margins, right?
They are fine margins.
Because you could see he was staying off Antonio, not quite sure whether to commit or not.
But even with the goal for Antonio, I think sometimes defenders nowadays, and Marcel will probably be able to answer this better, it's almost like old-fashioned defenders now gone out the window. It's like you always have to play. Like he's trying to pass the ball into an area that's not really on. Some defenders would just clear the ball, Chelsea squeeze up, you play in West Ham's half. But now, it's like you've got to show everyone how much of a good player you are. I can bring it down there. I can play out from the back. It doesn't always work like that.
Marcel?
It's the modern football, I would say. That identity of each player and ability with the ball has grown quite a lot. So don't reverse back So it is like that. It's an advantage. And at the same time, yes, you need to identify the moment where it's the moment to clear. You know, and through that, you have that commitment that allowed you to be on fire, you know, against the striker. And he was not on fire.
Yeah, he wasn't. Marcel, for a second, let's go pitch side at the London Stadium. I'm delighted to say we get some immediate post-match reaction with James Ward-Prowse, one of the newest signings, of course, at West Ham United, made a telling contribution today. James, great to see you. Well played, first of all. What a game to be involved in.
Yeah, fantastic start to my West Ham career. You know, London derby against a very good team, and yeah, it was a good start from us in the game. We suffered a little bit in periods, but I think we showed the character and resilience and the luck you need against a top team to pull off a result like that.
What a week for you, by the way. You signed on Monday, and on Sunday, you're the first West Ham player to get an assist on his Premier League debut.
I'll take that. That's pretty nice. I would have bit your hand off for that at the start of the game, but no, more importantly, you know, contributed to a really important win and yeah, a really good start to the season for us.
I mean, obviously, the early goal helped. There were warning signs before, funnily enough, moments before where you caused Chelsea problems. But you must have been obviously delighted about your own contribution.
Yeah, it was. I think, you know, obviously coming into the team and making your debut, you want to have an impact as quickly as you can and show the fans and show the boys what you can do. And, you know, I certainly felt that I did that well enough at times today. And, yeah, more importantly, like I said, it was a good contribution to a team win.
James, how important was Mikel Antonio, that second half? Because the second assist from yourself, obviously you're on the back foot a little bit. You just put it into an area, he's got into it and scored. I mean, what did you make of his performance second half?
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic all game. Obviously my first time playing with him, and every time I played against him, it's so difficult because he's so strong, he's so physical, he can bring the team up the pitch, and you know, he did that fantastically well for us throughout the game today. And yeah, saw him obviously in a little bit of space, managed to play it to him, and yeah, he showed his quality and took his goal really well.
Talk about a true show of resilience, playing the last half an hour with 10 men. You all really had to dig in, right?
Yeah, we did. It's not easy, especially 11v11, let alone with a man less. But these things happen in football, and it's a real test of character. And yeah, to finish it off with the third goal at the end, I think summed up a really good afternoon for us.
Have you caught up with yourself at the minute? I mean, you're at Southampton for what, 20 years? You started there at 8 years of age. Moving clubs for you is a bit of a novelty, and to make an impact, you know, on your league debuts, clearly, you know, what you dreamt of. But have you caught up with what's gone on?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a tough few weeks, emotional in many ways to leave the club that you're at for 20 years.
Oh, that's a shame. I think we've lost contact with James.